Harvest Harmonies 2025. Chuplern Press had many great submissions this year. These are the winners whose story memes were posted on social media in October 2025. Our Own Special Family Traditions by Greg Beatty. But why now? Halloween was last week, Eli said. Just wait, Kevin replied. Kevin's dad slipped the pumpkin patch attendant some money and set the gym bag he was carrying on the ground. Choose your hammers. Kevin grabbed a sledge so big it took 2 hands to lift, and started swinging. The hammer made a thud when it hit. Pumpkin guts flew everywhere. Eli flinched when a sea hit his forehead but managed to block the web of fibrous strands Kevin's next swing sent his way. Eli glanced at Kevin's dad. We have our own special family traditions. Hammer?
Witch's Brew by E.C. Tregonas. The wind is soughing gently, raising faint moans from the backyard peach tree. One final gust, and mellow fruit is scattered everywhere, halves upturned and belching honeyed sap. Flies and wasps hover unsteadily, their drunken wings beating lustily. I gather my plundered treasure carefully, culling a few choice amber globes from the worm-eaten dross. Sliced and mashed, the pulp is plunged into my cauldron, sprinkled with golden sugar and tart lemon rinds, boiled and stirred, poured into glass jars, sealed, shelved, capturing shafts of afternoon sunlight. The ancient tree groans and creaks, straightening itself back up, ready for next year's marmalade windfall.
Blackberries by Fiona M. Jones. I have been doing this for 1,000 years, along with the wives and the witches of the past. Armored in thick boots and tough old clothing, wrestling through thistles and thorns, harvesting the wild purple fruit of early autumn. Here are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. Like magic my fingers accept or reject, add to my basket or drop down as I forage, behind the hedges, under lost bridges, down in the river and over stone walls. When I close my eyes tonight, I will see them still, shining dark multi-drupped fruits, clusters and handfuls and bucketfuls of blackberries.
Mist Over the Patch by Baskin Cooper. I step into the field before sun. Hand saw unfolded in my palm. Breath rising white between the rows. Vines curl green and brittle under my boots. At the far edge a pumpkin swells. Its skin bright orange and frost damp. A small groundhog sits behind it, nibbling slowly, whiskers shining with dew. I stop mid-stride. This is her home, her breakfast. I fold the saw and slip it away, honored to share her morning.
Skeletons by Stacy Bowerman. During an emotionally heavy autumn years ago, school became a refuge from family battles and friendship collapses. Poetry 101 became my especially loved class. Assignments were reviewed with honest eyes. One of my poems described autumn trees as skeletons lining the streets. I was told that was cliché. A rewrite was necessary. The moping, tangled, exhausted, cement city wonders gripped my vein-wired fists holding up to their skeletal haunted hearts. A quiet wooden drum of a heartbeat was created inside me there. Bad poetry kept me alive that fall.
Halloween in Tucson by Leah Muller. Saguaros don't turn brown in October. Instead, they slumber in waning sunlight, storing water for the short winter. Their arms remain open, like crucified saviors. Yet defiant, each day grows cooler by half degrees. 95, 90, then 85. At night, you turn off the swamp cooler. Its damp air sinks into your bones. Like sediment, Halloween in the desert seems almost comical. Death hovers close at all times of year. Sugar skulls grin. From shop windows, taco restaurants, souvenir stands. Squeeze your wrist, feel the pulse within. Your brittle skeleton reminds you of how little time remains.
Garden of Gratitude by Jenna Restel. With bodies to nourish. I water my garden with tears while whispering my gratitude, desperately compositing, meticulously pruning, purposefully harvesting, careful to not absorb its sunlight, filling an old wicker basket with colorful peppers and hearty kale from the modest garden to the empty fridge.
Far to Fall by Kieran Alderling. September died with smoke in the air. A lush billowing, provocative red caps sheltering the jagged peaks, autumn dawns yellow and cerulean swirling aspen. Those leavings bleached peroxide blonde over mountain streams, cotton is strung, hanging, stratospheric a mirror. For wardings over doors observed between branches from the overhang screen, crunches under boots and whorls called away, tumbling down the side, satisfaction in the upset.
Autumn Reflection by Daniel Miltz. The earth dances in view of the sky fullness as stars twinkle, countless through the everlasting darkness as autumn spreads its reflection. The days rise in color, complexion, leaves scatter in a wheeze, stirring the air with unease, whilst, the same time, in a fancy a bird of beauty lands in a branch of a tree, twittering, flies away in mystery.
Life is Always Changing by Linda M. Crate. Let me wander in the forest, to feel the wind dancing in the changing of the leaves and through my long hair. Whispering of old and new, life is always changing, and autumn shows us change can be absolutely rewarding and gorgeous.
The Homecoming Skeleton by Roger Heineken. Fall is a time to celebrate homecoming with football, bonfires, reunions, and parades. Years ago, the Emporia State Latino Student Organization created a 9-foot articulated skeleton puppet to walk in the parade. Homecoming was scheduled near Dia de los Muertos. There was no budget. The puppet was created with wire coat hangers, corrugated cardboard bones taped together and sprayed white, with a paper match skull. It looked pretty good. Crafted in a warm apartment, the cold temperature of parade day caused the tape adhesion to fail. The puppet fell apart. Homecoming that year became the Day of the Dead Skeleton.
Thank you for watching this Harvest Harmonies 2025 video. If you enjoyed these works of literature, please follow Chuplern Press on Facebook, Blue Sky, and Reddit.